Hi students, it's Miss D. Today we're going to be learning an art technique called pointillism. Pointillism is a technique where we use dots to create a pattern or an image. So we will be making a beautiful snake, and to create the patterns on the snake's scales, we will be using the technique of pointillism. The materials you need for this project is a piece of paper, a pencil, a marker, paint, and Q-tips. If you don't have paint, you can use marker, crayon, colored pencil, or anything else. And if you don't have a Q-tip and you have paint, you can also use your finger or a paintbrush. I'm going to start in the Sharpie, but please start with pencil just in case you make a mistake. Your first step is to draw a U at the bottom of your paper. It can be a mix between a U and a V, but make sure it's around this shape. Your second step is to start drawing a squiggly line that starts at the top corner of your paper and makes its way down to the first side of the U. So this side of the U. So start up here. You're going to make a squiggly line or a wavy line that goes down towards the first side of the U. So make sure you line it up with this side and not this side. Now your second step is to go a little bit over from your first squiggly line and do another squiggly line where you follow the shape of your first one. So this is the general shape of your snake's body. And now you can put a little face on your snake, or you can just leave it at that. I'm gonna do some eyes. And then maybe I will do a little snake tongue. Now you can put your marker away. Now the second step is to take your pencil, and remember, I should have said this part you were supposed to do in pencil, so after you do it in pencil, then trace it, and then in pencil, along your snake's body, you are going to draw a couple diamond shapes. So a diamond shape is like two triangles on top of each other. So I'm going to do one triangle and then close it. And I'm going to do these diamond shapes only in pencil down my snake's body. Now we're not going to trace these, we're going to leave them as pencil. Once you are done with your body of your snake, you're going to take your Q-tip, the same thing that people use to clean their ears or to help with makeup or take makeup off. A Q-tip we can use as a paintbrush, and it's perfect for pointillism because it makes a perfect circle. So now we are going to take our Q-tip or our paintbrush or our finger or our markers, and we're going to dip it into our first color. So I'm just dipping my Q-tip into my blue, and I'm going to trace my diamonds with the Q-tip. So I'm going to make a bunch of dots that trace my diamond. So you can use the same Q-tip all the way around your diamond without reapplying paint. Now I'm gonna get some more paint and do my second diamond. And I'm going to fill up every single diamond on my snake with these dots. Now, as I said before, pointillism is when we use a bunch of dots to make up our patterns. You can see right now that's what I'm doing. I'm using a lot of dots to create the pattern of my diamond on my snake's body. Once you are done filling in each one of your diamonds, you can use the rest of your Q-tips to fill in the snake with whatever colors you'd like. So I'm going to take my other colors And I'm just going to start putting dots all over my snake's body. You can put these in random places, you can create your own design, but you don't need to refill more paint until you have around 5 different dots. So I can go like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I might even be able to get some more, and then I will reapply paint. Once I have one color filling my snake's body, I can move on to a new color. Once you start to fill up your snake's body and your snake is filled with dots, once you have done that, you can take another color and continue to trace or to use your dots to make the shape of a diamond with your Q-tip. So I'm just going to go in and I'm going to make another smaller pink diamond inside of my blue diamond. The most important thing to remember about pointillism is we're not using our Q-tip or paintbrushes as a paintbrush. So instead of spreading our paint around as we would if we were painting, we are just using it as a way to make dots. So make sure you're holding your Q-tip or your paintbrush straight up and going up and down, making dots instead of spreading your paint around. Because remember, pointillism is when we create images and make patterns just out of dots. Now it's up to you what colors and patterns you do, but I'm just going to continue to do one last small diamond in the middle of my bigger diamonds. Okay, so on my paper, I made a mistake and I got one little dot outside of my snake's body. That's not a problem because we are actually going to paint our entire background with one solid color. The reason I use one solid color instead of doing lots of designs and patterns in the background is because I want my snake to really stand out. If I filled my background with lots of dots, it would be hard to see my snake's body. So instead of doing that, I'm going to choose one color and I'm going to paint my whole background in that one color. If you do not have paint, don't worry because you can cover your background in any other drawing material. So you can use markers, crayons, colored pencils, whatever you have. If you have paint, remember to do nice even strokes down instead of going side to side in all directions. If I go like this, my paint doesn't look as nice as it could and my brush could get messed up. When you get close to your snake's body, this is the time where you really need to be slow and careful with your paint. So I'm going to very carefully outline my snake's body with the red while moving my brush in the direction of my snake. Notice how slow I go at this part because I don't want to ruin my snake by covering it with paint. If you make a little mistake, that is totally okay. It's not about being perfect, it's just about doing our best. When you have finished painting your snake, make sure that you pick up your paper and move it to the side so you can clean your table. Just like we do in art class, we have to clean up every time we make artwork. So please don't leave your space messy and make sure whatever you do is cleaned up just the way you found it when you got there. Now our picture is almost finished and it's almost ready to dry. Before we are completely done, I just want to make sure if you made a tongue that we also paint that tongue in. I'm going to be using my Q-tip because it's almost like a paintbrush, and I'm going to fill in my tongue with some pink. Now the last thing we need to do before we are completely finished is sign our name in the bottom corner. If your painting is still wet, you can use paint to sign your name. If your painting is completely dry, you can take a Sharpie marker and write your name in the bottom corner. Now your snake is done, and this is how you create a pointillism painting. Pointillism, remember, is when we use dots to create an image or to create patterns. For this painting, we use pointillism to make a snake and to make the patterns inside the snake's body. Don't forget to take a picture of your work when you're done and send me an email of your artwork.